I think I know who's next.
You think you know who's next? What do you mean
As far as the next big cast member that we're losing, I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Today, Sterling and I are talking about the hit horror mystery from Season 4, Episode 5, What a Long Strange Trip It's Been, so spoilers are ahead.
We theorize about who might be next to bite the bullet,
how Jade's idea might actually get them out,
and talk about Henry's extremely emotional performance and more.
Quick shout out to our channel members. We just want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this. We truly couldn't do this without your support, so thank you.
Now, let's get into the episode. I think I know who's next.
You think you know who's next?
Yeah,
what do you
like
mean by...
Who's the next one that we're going to lose? Now, to be clear, it may not necessarily be the absolute next death. Maybe they have another minor character like we lost this episode. But as far as the next big cast member that we're losing, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. So this episode, I thought that they were laying the groundwork for this character to die this episode.
Okay.
Dawn thought the same thing. There was a line that we both were like, oh no, it's happening. And then it didn't happen. And so I kind of forgot about it. And then as I was like looking at stuff from previous episodes to put some ideas together, I saw that they also laid groundwork for it last episode. And so what I think they are doing, they're making it more impactful by like having a few of these moments that like really makes their place important and like meaningful to other characters. It's already a big character, but they're like really getting these moments in so that when it happens, it's gonna hurt.
Okay. I'm desperate to know who you're talking about.
We're gonna lose Donna.
You think we're gonna lose Donna?
We're gonna lose Donna. It's happening. Here are the two moments that have brought me to this conclusion.
Okay.
Now, obviously, this is more of like a prediction than an actual theory. It's not like there's like real evidence of it. There's two lines that I feel are making us much more emotionally connected with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's a big impact when she goes. So last episode, hey, Future Sterling here. Quick interruption. I'm about to say Miranda when I clearly mean Tabitha. And I'm going to do it a few times. My apologies for any confusion. Now, back to the video. It was as Donna was talking to Miranda, and Donna wanted to know what's going on with Miranda. Because sure. Miranda left a very questionable note. And Donna doesn't want to be the one to explain to Miranda's kids why Donna is there and Miranda is not. Mm-hmm. And so she made it clear to Miranda, like, you are my family. So the next time that you need to do something crazy, instead of leaving me a note and you leaving, I'm going to do it for you. So there's that first. So she's like really endearing herself to the Matthews. And I think like they already had a place in their heart for her, you know, especially since Julie was living at Colony House for some time and
sure.
taking care of everybody there. And I feel like, you know, Donna, Boyd, they're like the two sides that kind of hold everybody together.
Yeah.
And then this episode, we had Ethan, little Ethan, who is fazed by very little, right? Yeah. You know, like he's done crazy well this show.
Yeah.
But the moment that like I think showed a little bit of his fragility was, I think at the campfire there was a scene with him and Donna, and he said something like, "When you're here, I feel better," or "I'm not scared," or something like that. And there was something about his phrasing that kind of made it seem like, oh, you're letting us know that she may not be around.
Unless my theory is correct, that Eloise is Donna, because what if these are just ways to, because Donna has not really had a driving plot through the From series.
Yeah.
You know, she's the leader of Colony House, but like not really, like she's not attached to anybody other, you know,
Right.
she is attached to Matthews. And so this is her, like them showing this. So we are more endeared to Donna to get the reveal. And maybe because Ethan and Victor have a lot of similarities as being children from Fromville, I'm sure Victor got a lot of comfort out of Eloise if Donna is Eloise. And so that could be another way. Because I did think that we might lose Donna this episode where...
Right, yeah.
And so to me that she survived that, like I couldn't imagine, and I could be wrong, that they would do like they would fake us out so hard with that where like she could have just been killed just like the other nameless guy and then to just kill her later. I'm hoping, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
I feel like they're going to have a big emotional moment at the end of this season.
Yeah.
And so
I
if
agree.
not her, it's somebody else. And I feel like she's the one that they're setting up the most. Also, there was somebody in the comments that mentioned that I think there is a picture of Donna and her sister, and they do look related. So it is less like, now who knows, maybe if she was adopted, you know, the people that adopted her adopted somebody else that looked very similar, or they they had that child and then they adopted a child that looked like her.
Well, and a big thing about the whole Eloise and Donna theory, which is a very good point, is that Eloise did have darker hair. Donna has lighter hair. So there is a glaring aspect that, did she dye her hair? Did her hair get lighter? Who knows? I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I like to theorize. I like to come up with random theories. But I think that from like a writing aspect of what would be a very rewarding outcome to show Victor's sister. And I do think that there could be a lot of reward of like, she wrote the books, the Chromonocle. I think that could be very rewarding as a storytelling beat, because if it's somebody in Fromville currently, if it's not like Donna or somebody else, they don't have a lot of narrative weight in the story to make it a satisfying reveal. So that's more why I went with the Donna route, because I think that because Donna has been such a pivotal character, but really didn't have much to do and has not really had a lot of stakes in a lot of the things that have occurred.
Yeah.
I think that would make her story plot like really come full circle. And so that's why I sit with the Donna thing, but I also don't even know.
I like your idea for, I think, some of the same reason, as far as I think the biggest impact that they can give us in having Eloise be alive is if she's somebody we know.
Yes.
I really like that idea. I do think that is a very impactful idea. And I think they've shown with the rope that they like to hide things that they can then explain later. And so I do think that has the best payoff of something you and I can think of.
Yeah.
However, here's the thing. They've got good writers, and they have very much surprised us. Like, I think last episode, I definitely said, I don't know if you felt the same way, what looked like came out of the lake, they look like bodies, you know? Yeah. And so my head went to, what is the most impactful thing that they can do would be, what if it's a body of somebody we know? And so then I was going through the Rolodex of like, who could it be? But I loved the reveal this episode. The reveal was great. And then the buildup of like, why were they there? And then the wrong theory and trying to like re-put them out in the lake and like send them to the bottom. The whole thing was really good buildup, even though that was one of the moments that not them being pulled out, but the thing busting through the wall was in the trailer. So even once I saw them, knowing that moment was in the trailer, and so we're like clearly getting it, it still for me was really good build up. And so I think these guys are like putting a decent amount of time and could have something crazy up their sleeve.
Yes, I agree. But I do think that like there is a difference between revealing something at the end of an episode where you theorize and then having it not be something that is like really impactful, explained the very next episode, versus something that they are setting up to be like, is Eloise alive? Who is she going to be? Because if it's like, if Eloise is just somebody sitting in a random cabin in the woods that has just been there since the time that Victor's been a kid, I don't think that narratively that feels as impactful. Like if she's just somebody that's we don't know or is hiding, I do feel like that lacks the power. We're like this thing where it's like, oh, what could these bodies be? They're clearly something. And in a way, the bodies do relate, and we learn more about like Tabitha, like because we see Tabitha as a kid who was having these dreams.
I kept saying Miranda, and I meant Tabitha.
Oh. I thought you said Tabitha. Miranda is Victor's mom. Tabitha is Ethan's mom.
I think I kept saying Miranda. Well, that'll be
you might have. Well, they're the same person. But like we saw that when Tabitha was having these dreams, we saw a little girl and it looks like Tabitha. So she was having these dreams as a little girl. You think that that's her being there, but that was just another version of Miranda and Tabitha that was actually living at the settlement. And then we even saw Jade was the one that got rid of the dolls in the first place, or Jade's previous incarnation was the one that got rid of the dolls. So then there is like what made those dolls even more impactful, because if they were just random dolls that came alive, they just were there, they came alive, did nothing, or they attacked and then were done, that wouldn't have been as narratively impactful. But there was story that it was related to Tabitha. There was a relation to Jade's former life with the one guy. And so like, even though dolls might not make sense, they still did narratively have a huge impact on the greater story. It's not just random dolls coming alive that are just out there to be murderous. And then that's why I still think that Eloise has to be somebody we know, or has to be something that's going to be a big like gut punch impact that we're not going to see coming. Maybe Donna, maybe the writer, maybe who else? I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of Jade.
Yes.
I believe they are going to be successful this time in getting out of Fromville. And it is all pivotal because of Jade.
Okay.
The reason I believe that this time is different. So Jade has had these visions of being Christopher, the Civil War guy, the guy with the thing in his eye. And the young Jade explains to Jade that this is how it goes every time. They find out that you're the reason that this is happening, and they eventually turn on you and kill you. So I think every time that Jade has been there, he has been one of those guys, and he gets those visions that slowly come back to him one at a time. You know, maybe the playing the music at the tree is what starts kind of kicking these memories off. And I think that he always finds out about these past lives, but by the time he finds out about it, it's already been too late, and people want to kill him because they blame him, and then the cycle starts all over again.
I don't know if that was quite that way with Christopher, because now I know that this is Victor's an unreliable narrator, so take this with a grain of salt. But according to his memory, when he originally thought that Jasper talked to Christopher, he later realized that it was the boy in white that talked to Christopher, and then this came from actually the boy in white. And I don't remember who the boy in white was talking to. The boy in white said that I think the boy in white said that he told Christopher everything last time. and that it didn't work. And that's why this time he was doing something different. So I think he basically implied that the Christopher person who is now Jade, that they have to, I think they have to like internalize this information themselves, that it's too much to potentially just be told. And maybe that's why Christopher went dark was because it's just like too much to take in. And it's something that you have to make that choice. You have to be like ready to metabolize that information. And so it was important that Jade figured it out on his own. It was implied. It wasn't like completely explicit. So kind of take it with a grain of salt, but it did seem like it was a different situation with those two.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I feel like he still learns these things, right? Like Jade does come to the conclusion in every life. He has come to the conclusion. And when he comes to that conclusion, it turns the townfolk on him, the people from Fromville. And so especially like with Christopher, because Victor recalls it as, yes, the boy in white was talking to him to have him go do something. And then Victor also talks about how Christopher's behavior starts getting like, he was really funny at first, and then it starts becoming erratic, and he starts doing weird things and starts doing dark things. And I think you're right that it is about that knowledge, but I think it's because it comes too late. It's already like the man in yellow is already 10 steps where he is right now before Jade even begins to like finally get to where he like is supposed to understand. But I think this time, because he did the mushrooms and it was his first time doing the mushrooms to like awaken this thing quicker, right? Like he saw the Confederate soldier, he saw the guy with the stake in his eye, he's seen Christopher, like he had seen these. I think those visions eventually build up enough that he does start to remember, but at that point it's too late. And so this time doing the magic mushrooms, he figured it out quicker. I believe since he's figured it out quicker, he can avoid being killed so that he is able to get them out of Fromville. And if I'm wrong, Jade's the one that's going to die this season.
Ooh. And here's the thing, though, because I don't know if it was in time, because Tabitha accidentally gave it away that she has knowledge from the past. And I think people are going to start putting that together, because like Donna has made a very, very strong point about Donna, Boyd, the people that know, they're like, we need to keep this in a tight group. This is too much for people to be able to understand, to handle. So it's supposed to be compartmentalized. But as Tabitha saved the woman that was having her face burned,
Ellis saved her.
Well, Tabitha killed one of them.
The one that was killing Donna. Donna, the one that was killing Donna is the one that Tabitha killed.
And that woman with her face burn was there when Tabitha said, I remember how to kill this.
Yeah.
Not like I've figured it out, but I remember. And then on top of that, I think she saw Donna and Tabitha having little asides, as like Tabitha clearly had an aha moment with the dolls. And then Donna's like, shh, come over here. Yeah. Like nobody can tell that you're being secretive, And then like everybody saw Tabitha's eyes go big. And then with that whole, like, I remember, she's going to go back to Colony House, and people are going to start talking, and they're going to figure out it. And so I think that whether or not they turn on Jade and Tabitha, I think they are going, and like, I don't know if they're going to like go through with it, but I do think we are going to see it start to happen. And the sad and scary thing is that Jade said that it's worse for Tabitha.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start to see the worse for Tabitha side.
We definitely might. I don't know if I'm going to, because I think her name's Mandy, just the no-name character. I think that they said, "Where's Mandy?" at one point.
Quick, give her a name. Mandy, where are you?
Mandy, she's got new girl.
She's got a name.
Where's that new girl? I could see that being a very real possibility, but also like when Tabitha said, "I remember," she literally walked up and was like worried about, like, her face is like 3rd degree burned. Like it's like scalding. Yeah. Like I could imagine if my face was burning, I might not remember or be focusing at Tabitha says, "I remember," you know, like, so I could see that not being, because I'm also trying to think again, I think narratively.
But so right now she's in fight or flight mode, which means that she's got enough endorphins pumping through her body that this pain is very muted. So I'm not saying it's non-existent.
I mean, she was acting like it's like it. I mean, when she walked up when it was happening, she's like doing this whole like.
But there, like, it is not as bad as when the endorphins aren't in her body.
Sure.
So like she is still on high alert. So she can both feel the pain, and she has enough drugs pumping through her that her senses are heightened, even though maybe this sense and this sense isn't heightened.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she will. It does feel weird that it is just kind of in my mind, a red shirt character. Like, it would seem like, to me, it would be like more interesting if it was someone like Acosta, the bus driver, like somebody that's not quite a main character, but a side character that would want to know this information to like get it out to everybody. So like, I don't know. And I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. Come at me in the comments. I'm always wrong. But like, I think it would be weird if we like,
no. Well, hold on a second. No, you're not always wrong.
I was right. You're wrong
once. Like nine out of 10.
I was right one time, I believe. I don't know about but I've been right about something once in my life, probably, assumedly.
There's a reason you haven't been fired yet.
Yeah, right. I'm still here, guys.
two more write-ups, and you are gone.
Can we make it three write-ups, and then okay. I don't know. I feel like I already feel that like the people that are going to start turning on people that like would like narratively feel good about turning on Jade and like Tabitha would be people that like we are following, like the Kenny of the world, or I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, the doctor girl. Why am I?
Christy.
And it seems like Sophia is already turning these people against each other, and I feel like those are the people we're going to see start to like turn on each other before we like kill them. So I don't know. I could imagine them all going back, and then we never talk about Mandy again, and she just fades back into the background. We never talk about her burned face. She's just, all right, go back with the children.
But I think the man in yellow feeds on this chaos, and I think that I could see Sophia having a little convo with Mandy and basically kind of planting the seed, because Sophia is very much, she's got her thumb on the scale.
Wait, who's Mandy?
Isn't that who you said the girl was? No name?
Oh,
no
Mandy.
Name Mandy?
Yeah. I think it is Mandy.
I could see Sophia having a conversation with her and basically like helping her to connect the dots so that she goes back to Colony House, because Sophia very much has her thumb on the scale, right? She's like, she's getting into each of these relationships, and she's like, okay, what are the pain points? What are the things that are making these relationships tough? And what's the thing that I can do to just increase that a little bit, you know? So she did the whole thing with Kenny, where she got Kenny to insinuate that it's all the Matthews fault, even though that's definitely not what he said. Mm-hmm. But then it looks like Kenny said it, and Kenny's starting this thing, and she sees that, is it Maribel?
Marielle. I think it's Marielle.
Mary.
She does call her Mary
she,
for short. Yeah.
Yeah, Mary, that she sees that like the big tension between them is the fact that Mary is struggling with this thing and she's trying to struggle with it quietly. And so she's like, let me just turn that up just a little bit. So she's like keeping an eye on each one and she's seeing how can I just ratchet things up a little bit. And I think she doesn't really have her fingers in Colony House yet. And I think that'll be the big pot to stir is there.
Totally agree. But like I was saying, see all the ones that you're talking about where Sophia is meddling, it's all of the main characters, right? It's all of like characters where this is impactful. Because like if Kenny came up and was like, I'm starting to have distrust of this other main character because of this, that is impactful. But like in like a narrative sense, if Mandy, who has had zero screen time other than these last 2 episodes, comes back and starts stirring up a ruckus of saying, I don't trust these people. Narratively, for the audience, that seems like, okay, why are all these people putting all this faith in a character that we don't know? And that's why we've seen Sophia putting her thumb on the scale with, she's done it with Julie, she's done it with Sarah, she's done it with Marielle, she's done it with Kenny. So it's like all people that are main characters. So that's why I have a hard time thinking that Mandy's going to be this like pivotal moment that makes everybody.
I don't think that Mandy is going to be the center of it. I think she's just going to be the source, so it's like Mandy there's like a little bit of a conversation. It doesn't take very long and it goes to one of the central characters, maybe Henry, maybe one of the other ones that we see, maybe Ellis, somebody like it goes. I think Ellis might be in. So, but it goes to one of the ones that we see a little bit more often, and then it kind of spreads from there. And it's more of like you can see that the people are turning, because I think that's the scary thing for Jade is that the people have turned against him. Yeah. I don't think it's been one person. I don't think it's been like just a Boyd that has turned against him in the past. Right. I think it's been like
it's the town people. He even says it's the whole town turns against him.
So I think that's what we're going to see is this is going to be like the tide turning, and it's just kind of like the little genesis of it, and then we probably won't really see her after that, but it builds from there, like this one droplet spreads.
We'll see. I just feel like she's such a red shirt that I don't think she's going to be that impactful. Like even while they were at the camp, the guy that died had more screen time saying things than Mandy. Mandy was just like a very nothing character the whole time. Like she didn't have any qualms about anything. She was just very passive. I can't see Mandy creating that dynamic, but I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I'm wrong, like I said, a lot. But I don't know. I do feel like we already see Sophia putting this. They're already kind of starting to turn on each other a little bit with like the Julie thing. And we already saw that Sophia started the whole like, oh, when the Matthews and Jade got here. Like, so that it's already in that motion, because even Jade's younger self was like, once they knew that it was when you got here and this, that, and that you're the reason. But again, I think Jade figured it out quicker this time so that he can get ahead of it and potentially get them out of Fromville. Jade might not make it out alive, but I think that what he does will get them out.
Yeah.
Do you have a theory about what they have to do?
No. I do. To me, I mean, going back to kind of like a thing I've thrown out a while ago, the closest I have to like an overall idea, and especially because I think Mari said something in this episode about it being an old evil, an ancient evil, right? Something like that, because Christy said something like, "Oh, I've seen other people go through this," and she's like, "This is different. This is an ancient evil."
Oh, and she says that even when we die, we don't even get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do kind of feel like there is, a long time ago, there was an entity that was an evil entity that was trapped here.
Mm-hmm.
And that it is very powerful. So within this area that it is trapped, it holds a lot of power. And I think it potentially needed a favor from them so that they could help it. And so I think it like promised the original people immortality. Maybe it like pulled in a group and it promised them immortality, but like maybe one or two of them didn't quite go through with it, like the OG Tabitha Jade from way back when. And it needs like full buy-in. You know? And so like I think it's potentially trying to corrupt these two. So it's like it's gonna keep making them go through these terrible things until they finally, like both of them finally kind of like give in. Because I think that if it gets something, that it could possibly get out. And so I think that's like a bigger thing that it wants is to kind of like escape. And
I like that idea with that one of them needs to
one or both. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that it's one, because every time we've seen like Jade, it seems like the entities of Jade are childless. Christopher didn't seem to have a child. Jade has a child, or doesn't have a child.
Okay.
Even when Tabitha refers to the guy that threw her dolls away, she doesn't say my dad. There was a guy, and when he died, and to me, other than when Tabitha was that little child, or you could even say the dolls were her child, in that she had child there as a kid. She had the dolls. Miranda had Victor. And
I mean, we don't know how long that child lived. She might have had a child in Fromville. So
true.
It's possible.
True.
Possible.
But Miranda had 2 children, and now Tabitha has a child. And so what if they keep bringing Tabitha back because she needs to sacrifice a child to complete the seance thing? And when we see Jade is in that chamber where all the kids were sacrificed, there were all these stone things, and there's one open one. Like it's missing one, which could be Ethan, which could have been Victor before, or Eloise.
I think their child was sacrificed, but I think it needs to be willingly sacrificed. Like they can't give the kid hope, because they did say that they like something like they tried to save their kid, but they couldn't, and they gave the kids hope, and that's why the Brutes formed the symbol. So they did lose their child, but I do think that it's potentially like one or both of them need to buy in.
Gotcha.
And so I almost wonder whether or not like they have died trying to get out. I do wonder if one of them might need to sacrifice themselves, not just be murdered, but like, you know, like maybe Jade needs to make and that would be quite the arc for him from, you know, how much he didn't care about anybody else. He was like the smartest, most important person. Nobody else was as smart. Nobody else mattered, to somebody who he's taking risks with his life. But I think that's a little bit different than like a straight up sacrifice where there is only the one outcome.
Right.
I could see that being his like final arc.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think
or maybe
overall,
you're right and he dies this season.
Well, he might. I hope he doesn't.
He's my favorite.
He is great. This was a great episode with him. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him go on a psychedelic trip. And
he gets to have so much fun in the show.
He does. He knocked it out of the park. But what I do think needs to happen to break the cycle is where those children were sacrificed. It showed him being buried, right? There's another kid that was like, Ankui, right as it closes. There's skeletons there. He knows that's where the children were sacrificed. I think what he thinks needs to happen, I don't know if this is true or not, he needs to go in there and get the remains of those children out of that area. And like once they are pulled out of that, it releases like, so imagine that sacrifice area is like a metaphor for Fromville, and that the children's bodies that are in there are stuck there. And while they're stuck there, the barriers of Fromville exist. If they are removed from there, then the barriers fall down and then everybody can leave. I don't know if that's true, but that's kind of where I'm guessing, is that they need to get the children out of there.
Interesting.
But I don't know. And I'm probably wrong. I will say I'm most likely wrong.
Yeah. I'd like to say what the scene that hurt the most for me this episode. There was it was a great episode. I enjoyed it.
I love this episode.
But there was a scene that really hit for me, which was Henry losing it.
Yeah.
And it had a little extra significance for me because, I grew up as a military brat, and my mom was in the military before I was born, so I clearly don't remember that. My dad was in the military for, I think, all of my childhood. And while he didn't go away as often as other military parents, he would generally go away for a little bit longer than most of them. And that song as a kid was one that resonated with me and would make me kind of sad at the fact of like, I don't know when he's coming back, because sometimes they'd extend it, and so it wasn't exactly, it's not like, oh, you're definitely coming back at this point. And so that song already had like an emotional pull as a kid, and seeing it seemed like it hit the same way, where it's like, at first he was like going back to a memory, but not like thinking about the sad part, but like as he was singing the words, it was really hitting for him. And man,
yeah,
I think it would have been impactful regardless, but that was just like a double sting, because it's like, obviously worse for him because he'll never get his wife back, but like I felt it.
Well, I think it was such a great song because it showed, like, as he's like talking about what was going to happen, like he was like, we had plans to travel the world and do this, and this song specifically, it was like, it talks about like, I'm leaving, I'll be back again someday, and this is like their song that they were singing. And to me, Henry was holding on to this when he lost his wife and children, when they just disappeared. And that song probably just stuck with him his whole life, of like, leaving, don't know when I'll be back. Like, again, when are they going to come back? And I think the most powerful thing about it is that we have seen this place, Fromville, take away so much from so many people. And Henry, who is one of the newer people in Fromville, we still see that, like, even though he wasn't in Fromville, he was affected by Fromville in such a negative way. Just such this thing that, like, it destroyed him from the outside before he even got in. And now he's in, and everything that he has imagined and thought is all come true. He now knows all of the bad things that happened to his wife, his daughter, to Victor, his estranged son. And I think that, like, God, that was just, it was really sad. And I don't know that actor, but kudos. He crushed
Robert Joy.
it.
I've got IMDb open. It's Robert Joy.
He crushed it. He crushed the being drunk, the angry feelings, the playing the piano while singing, and like not singing the song straight through, different like flubs in between. That was a phenomenal performance by his part.
I think it really hurt because I think he potentially kind of thought he had understood the worst of this place already. Like he thought it was bad enough that Victor had to grow up there as a kid by himself for a large chunk of time, that there's these terrible things that happen. And I think he came to terms with the fact that he understood the worst of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then to find out that there were things even more horrific, that not only did this terrible thing happen to his wife, so his wife experienced that and his son experienced it, watched it. And that was just like a horror he was unprepared for, that it could get worse. And that I think that also that he like the when and how he learned of it, I think that this place keeps surprising people with how bad it can be, but that generally happens at nighttime from the monsters. That's not the kind of thing that you generally learn from a picture during the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of like in the safety of your safe space that he learned such a horrible thing. And that was just like, it was such a good performance. And it reminded me of, I don't remember where I heard of this quote, but there was an actor who talked about portraying drunk people, and that the thing that they've learned is that you have to try and play it like you think you're sober, because drunk people don't think that they're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of bad acting is people like doing an impression, like what they think of as a drunk person, like trying to be drunk, but that's not the headspace you're in. And I feel like we definitely saw that with him when he made that stumble, and like very quickly was like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Is like, that's drunk people are always very much in denial of the fact that they are drunk.
Right.
They don't think that, they don't realize it. And so I think he did a great portrayal of that and the emotions, and poof.
Yeah, that was
so good.
A stellar performance. A performance I'm not a big fan of.
Okay.
I don't love Marielle, the girl that plays Marielle. I don't.
Okay.
And maybe I just don't like her as a character. I think I really thought the dynamic between Chrissy and Kenny was interesting, and like they're friends, and like Kenny has feelings, but she had somebody before. Like this was such an interesting dynamic between them. And then as soon as this other girl came in, like when she first came in, there was a little drama with her relapsing and succumbing to her addiction, which I thought that was going to be a bigger thing, but then they kind of hand waved it and it's fine. And then it just feels like her and Christy don't do much now. They just stay at the hospital, the clinic, if you will, and they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe there'll be some more with her, because I feel like she's connected with the Randall and Julie thing. We clearly see that she's still having traumas from it, just like them. But yeah, she's just not my favorite character, and I don't really prefer the performance of her. But
I can see that. Yeah.
That's my one complaint, if you can believe it. Usually I complain about everything.
No.
Sometimes. If it's a bad show, I'll complain about everything. But,
yeah.
But From's not bad. It's good. Very good show.
So good.